Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night, race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly. bound only by frozen memories. Lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll fly. We'll fly away, away, away. Yeah, we'll fly. Oh, we'll fly.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Alright. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but here we go. What's going on, guys? So, again, as it's been announced for the last couple weeks, I've been trying to get all this built up to actually do a separate, no, I guess not really separate, but multi-section type Simula BGS primer for people, for those to get adjusted to the BGS, at least learn some of the basics about the BGS itself. And that way you're not overworking something when we're working towards goals, or if you want to even other player groups. You know, this isn't just for Privateers Alliance, this is for the community, Elite Dangerous as a whole.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is
what we're
free.
doing.
You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Mike, thank you for the follow, sir. Muchas gracias. I can't say welcome to the fleet, but indeed, dude, thank you for the follow. Funny Hurtis, thank you for the host. That name still cracks me up every time. So, before we get started, how is everybody doing today? Sorry, I'm muting the phone so it shuts the fuck up. So, fun part of all this today was I went to go do some fine tuning on the original turn that down just a little on the original PowerPoint file on this, and it was corrupted, so I had to recreate the whole fucking thing as fast and as efficient as I could inside of Google Slides, and then I was able to export it from Google Slides into a PowerPoint. This isn't Jennermain. And blackjack and hookers, you know what? Forget the fleet. Right. Yeah, Lala had some really cool ideas. She showed me the first GIF for "You Are a Pirate," and I was like, "Hold on, if that's a YouTube video, I can get the sound file for it." Motley, what's going on, man? How are you doing today? All right, so background simulation primer part 1. Probably gonna break this down into, I'm guessing, probably about 5 or 6, maybe less.
Do what you want, cause a pirate
total
is free.
sections.
You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Okay. So, with, that's kind of sucks though, Phil. With the whole section of explaining and breaking things down right now, today is mostly going to be a glaze over of the background simulation. It's not going to be a whole lot of, yeah, it sounds like it. So I'm not entirely sure if I can, because I run monitor capture. I don't run window capture at all. That sucks. Alright, we might have to move the category then. Alright, well, let's change this over to alt shows so we don't get in trouble. Alright, that should be updated. I can't Paleface because I actually run I run 2 machines, and I would have to run the slideshow off of the stream machine, and I don't have the Office Suite on the stream machine. Otherwise I would do that and then do the window capture for the slideshow on whatever that bit. So yeah, this is gonna be, we're gonna kick it off here. This
Do
is
what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
BGS overview.
You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Happens because it just makes me laugh. Lone Zephyr, thank you for the follow, sir. Muchas gracias, senor. BGS overview. There's minor factions split into 2 different sections: NPC factions and player factions. Faction states, there are 3 different tiers, 3 different types. There's conflict states, expansion states, and economical states. Yeah, I really worked PowerPoint for this. This isn't the original one either. This is literally like done in Google Slides, imported over into PowerPoint. done within like 3 hours because my original one that I've been working on for the last like 3 weeks got corrupted. So fun part. But the faction states, there are conflict states, expansion states, economical states. Each one of these take precedence over the other. Conflict is over the other two. Expansion is over economical. The state hierarchy, which breaks down the state tiers, pending states, recovering states. And then the all-encompassing, where the fuck do I find this info? Not spreadsheets, holy crap. The best PowerPoints are rushed ones, right? Well, sadly, I worked in the IT field, so any PowerPoint that I will probably ever develop will be rather dry and non-entertaining. Breaking down minor factions. Minor factions, there's two types. There's non-player character factions, NPC factions, and there's player factions. NPC factions are created solely by Frontier. They cannot be removed from their home system. Secondary to that, there are the player factions, which are organized by players, submitted to and placed into the background sim by Frontier themselves, and notation states that takes for fucking ever. Privateers Alliance, we waited, what was it, Phil, 6 months? Something close to that. Is the music not playing? There it goes. Yeah, we waited a while. We waited a while for them to get our shit in. They kept telling us next update, next update, next update, next update, and then it came around to that update, and our faction wasn't in, so we were like, hey, what's going on? And then we got put in with the next update. Player factions, a lot like NPC factions, cannot be removed from their home system. That was put in, I believe, with 2.0 with the release of Horizons. And remember, guys, if you have any questions when this starts breaking down, let me know. Non-player character factions, NPC factions. Again, solely created by Frontier. Generally identified by having the system of their origin in their faction name. For us in 368, that is, you see the, what is it, HIP 33368, Vision Network. Next door we have HIP 32135, which is Fortune Network. They've got a couple other factions, but mostly they do systematically have the system of their origin in their faction name. There's one close to us that is called Korea Spiritual something. They are from the system of Korea. Chauffeur, thank you for the host. Definitely been going great for years. Yeah, same here. EA for having kids. Again, NPCs can't be removed from their system of origin, just like player factions. NPC factions are affiliated with superpowers, or they're entirely independent, which is Federation, Empire, or the Alliance. Or like Privateers Alliance, we are an independent faction. Next. Player factions, and I have no idea why player factions isn't on a single line. Like I said, all this was hastily remade because of shit going wrong. Organized by players of the elite community, they are submitted into Frontier. I don't know if they're still taking player factions or whatnot. They can be named anything within regulations set by Frontier, pretty much their guidelines, as it were, for naming a faction. Once approved and processed, they'll be placed into a home system. You get a selection that you give them, and then there's some feedback transfer there. Like NPC factions cannot be removed from their system of origin. Also, like NPCs, they can be superpower affiliated or independent. Again, Federal, Imperial, Alliance, Paste Eaters, or independent, where the true champions are. Faction states. breaking down faction states is one of the most direct things that most people see, because when you look into a system, you automatically see, even in the galaxy map, you see the system state, which is the controlling faction. Like whatever the system state is the controlling faction's minor faction active state. In conflict states, we have civil wars, war, and election. This is, we'll break it down. I've got the picture up here in a minute. This is tier 1. Takes precedence over everything. Within tier 2, there's the expansion states, which are expansion, investment, and retreat. Economical states are the lowest tier, which are overridden by the previous two, are boom, bust, famine, outbreak, civil unrest, and lockdown. We all have plenty of experience with the lockdown state, rather entertaining at times, also extremely fucking irritating. Uncapping Badger, what's going on, man?
Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar har, favored indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Here we have the breakdown explanations. Expansion, minor faction has seen huge growth and influence, is now in the process of expanding into another star system. This can happen from any system that the faction is in. There are some requirements. I'm going to break that down into a further primer piece. War states, 2 minor factions in a system are going into a conflict. It's not always that it's just expanded in. War specifically denotes a faction that has moved into a system outside of their home system. Can you follow again just for that? War specifically denotes expansion into a system, and they're going to war with someone that is in the system or another faction that is expanded in. Always means that a faction that is originally from outside the system is expanded in. Civil War, 2 minor factions from the same system are in conflict. Same thing as war, there's 2 different sets to this. With Civil War and war, there are different influence number gaps that have to be gained. But according to what everything has been stated, 7.3% is the lowest that a faction can go into war. However, we have seen differently. I've seen factions with 3% influence go to war before. Uncapping Badger, thank you for the host. I know, right? The stream, the alerts are excellent. Election is the 3rd type of conflict within a system, regardless of whether one of the factions within the system is from outside the system or a civil faction that is from the system. If they are the same government type, they will enter into an election, which is pretty much a non-combative type of war, and then assets get changed on depending whoever wins or loses. Boom! This is an economical faction state. Minor factions have been doing exceptionally good economically. This is provided giving commodity market training, so people running trade circuits in and out of the station, mining and selling those goods that are needed by the station, not being supplied but are in demand. As well as this is also pushed by doing trade missions. Cargo transport missions affect a boom state, push a faction towards a boom state. Plus state. Economical hardship. Who isn't? But bust is the exact opposite of boom. Missions are, you're mostly going to see donation type missions, supply and source type missions here. You're not going to see a whole lot of cargo transfer stuff. The next is civil unrest, another economical state. Election phases. Do these players who control over who wins that election? Yes, we actually do. In War and Civil War, we have our conflict zones. This is generally how that's decided. Then there are the mission boards for massacre missions, wartime scan missions, wartime goods interception missions, wartime pirating missions, stuff like that. Election also has these. Election generally provides more data delivery missions than it does anything. But it does give, you will also see more economical type missions during this active state, the election state, than you will either war or civil war. So you can still see trade missions, scanning, planetary scan missions, but mostly election titled missions are specifically data deliveries. Those are the only types that I personally have seen. Any others? But civil unrest, bust states, you'll generally see a lot of gimme monies, source and returns, donation types. Civil unrest, followers of the factions not amused about the security their faction provides. Generally, this happens when a lot of people are killing clean or civilian type NPCs of a specific faction consistently. This doesn't really fall into killing the police. It's more specific towards killing traitors, civilian types, rather than combat military and authority types for a faction. Famine. Famine and outbreak are two funny little active states that can happen that are both economical. Famine, dire need of food, means the stations in the system that the faction controls are in a massive demand for food. They're not getting enough trade in either by trade routes that are done within the BGS or by players bringing in things like food cartridges, fruits and vegetables, food commodity, any of the food commodities. Outbreaks. Dire need of medicine, kind of the same thing there, but not with food. It's with there's not enough medicines coming in, or people are bringing in passenger missions. I've seen do it so far. That was a fun little test. Which state's the most profitable? Absolutely Boom. The Boom state is one of the most profitable that I've seen. So one I've ever made the most money in. War is pretty profitable too, but it does cause some other issues within the system. Speaking. Oh shit. But yeah, most profitable active state is generally Boom. If a system is in Boom because the controlling faction is in Boom, then that faction's payouts and station general payouts are going to be higher. Commodity market trading is going to be higher. In some cases, you'll see where a system will be buying Pay Night for 40,000 to 45,000 credits a piece. When a system goes into Boom, the controlling faction of that station, if they are the faction that controls and they go into a Boom, I believe it's morning for him, yeah. The faction that owns the station, if they are in Boom and they're controlling the system, the prices for Pay Night to sell to that station can jump to 75,000 a pop. Anywhere between 70,000 to 80,000, so almost doubling the money for commodity market trading. Commodity market trading is one of those things that you have to pay attention to system state as well as the actual trade routes that are going on, and tracking commodity market prices for buy and sell. May or may not be taking notes. Outbreaks, same thing as famines. Outbreaks and famines create much like other active states except for Boom and Bust. They create a in-system point of interest. That is, famines generate food distribution centers. Outbreaks generate convoy beacons. We all should know pretty well about those two because of engineers. Yay, chemical manipulators. Lockdown. Faction has failed old law and order. This can happen to any faction. It's most easily casted upon the controlling faction of the system. Because you see more system authority ships of the controlling faction of a system than you will in the other minor factions. I'm determined to learn something this time. Slides will be available. Yes. Oh, the slides are actually here. Give me a second. Where did it go? I lost it. Oh, please. Is that the... Nope, that's not it. Primer. Do you want the PowerPoint or the Google Slides version? Either.
She's smiling, but that may just be a disguise. I wanna say hi, but I'm scared she'll kill me.
Okay. The shareable link.
Would she? Probably not.
Here you go, guys. If you have PowerPoint, that is the link. Yeah, no, this is not a PG-13 channel. No one in Privateers is PG-13. I'd say more rated R. Or rated R. KZ streams and channels and conversations is generally kind of PG. Yeah, KZ Online is, yeah. But lockdowns create issues within a system and the factions and stations that they control. A lockdown will close down all system services such as outfitting, shipyard. KZ is in history. Oh, he is in history. Don't want to see wrong C-17. No, I'm just kidding. But lockdown can also close down the trading market itself, commodity trading. So that causes a lot of problems. We've seen it with the Colonia CG when we were getting Privateers Alliance Expeditionary Force into Colonia by LSD. What? Where are we going with this, guys? Come on. Faction state hierarchy. Conflict states are tier 1, expansion states tier 2, and economical states tier 3. Can track y'all down. Stavarius, what's going on, man? A lot of famine missions. Yeah, a lot of... Well, that's because the... okay. That is... This is getting a little ahead of ourselves here. That is because the agriculture system that's there is in what they were in outbreak or famine. They were in either one of them. So their commodities markets, their replenishment for goods and their tradability wasn't as high. So there's food lacking in other systems. Here we have the state hierarchy breakdown. Conflict states are tier 1. Expansion states are tier 2. Other states, mostly economical, are tier 3. That leaves out this lot, right? Nature audiences only? Oh, mature audiences only. I could have done with that warning 10 minutes ago. Yes, there are tiers of states. Economical states, other states, can be overridden by expansion states. So say we're in an active boom state and one of our systems goes into an expansion state. the whole faction rolls right over into an expansion state. We come out of boom regardless of the countdown, and we'll go into an expansion state. If we're expanding and a war tick happens to hit, then a war state will hit. The way this changes is if you are in a conflict.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're har, favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
May have to turn that one a little down, a little bit more on Streamlabs, Lala. Lag, thank you for the follow. Muchas gracias, senor. How are you doing today? Little LimeWire? Yeah, I know, right? So, it works. A higher tier can override a lower tier, but a lower tier cannot override a higher tier. Rock's a private tutor now. Waifu, what's going on? So if we're in a war state and we see pending states for an expansion coming up, and the waiting timer for the expansion state ends, we don't roll into an expansion state unless the war is over. If the war is still active, we remain in war. Same for economical states versus conflicts. It doesn't change. The higher tier state takes precedence. Well, that needs wine to brainstorm. Pending and recovering states. This is where that comes in. Pending states generally count down according to their timers. All really depends on the actual state itself, on what timers there are applied and how long they are active. Turned it down to about 10%. Oh, we'll see. Several states can be pending at the same time. You can see boom, civil unrest, bust, lockdown, outbreak. I mean, if there's a state for it, they can all be happening at the same time. It just depends. Certain actions have certain consequences into a system. There was actually a really good link that we were given by some of our more friendlier neighbors in CCN. That breaks down what type of missions do what. He checks his class syllabus. I don't have that link. Crap. I must have not bookmarked it. I'll have to find it. This may be jumping the gun a bit, but how does the faction decide which system they expand to? This game decided to redo something to make the game.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free.
Oh,
you
boy.
are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Thank you for the follow, sir.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate
that's
is free.
definitely not 10%.
You
I'll
are
reload
a
the
pirate.
And the crane, thank you for the follow. Muchas gracias. Alright, let's refresh that. Okay. I don't care, I love the pirate song. Okay, I'm a fully tricked out Fed Corvette by now, right? Okay, so that question is, yes, jumping a gun a bit, but essentially, yes and no. Kind of. It gets really weird when you're trying to direct where you go, and we're seeing that a lot with our current BGS goals. Yeah, it's all based on faction count within a system, range from where you're expanding, and range from the home system as well. And I think there's at least one more that I haven't quite pinpointed out.
Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
I missed it.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free.
Thank you for the follow, waifu!
Yar-har, favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You
Fightful with the
are a
knife or range
pirate.
with the follow. We're talking bribes, right? It's no, I don't think it's gonna change. I don't know what's going on with it. Stop joking around. Yeah, it's expansion states. It's based off of primarily range. An expansion state will go 20 light years. An investment state will go 40. Retreat doesn't matter. You're pulling back from the system at that point. I need that for a ringtone. I have it as the MP3 file. Rocking on here, don't spoil my fun. But back to pending states. Several can be pending at the same time. Again, you can see a whole list of them there. Unfortunately, in game, there is no way to see when a pending state goes active. Highest tiered faction state that ends its countdown first will go into an active state. So if a war state and an election, and a war state and a boom state, I believe, have the same countdown. Let me double check. Yes, a war state and a boom state have the same countdown. So if a war state and a boom state go active pending in the same day, and then they'll end at the same time, so their countdown will end at the same time. The war state will go active, overriding the boom state. So you'll always see the higher tier states going active the first time. Yes, this is being recorded, guys. Recovery states. Recovery states are pretty fucking simple. It simply reflects the last active state for the faction. So, Privateers Alliance, we just came out of a war. Our current recovery state says war. That's it. That's all it means. Hey, this is your last active state. Have fun. It's useless information at this point. It is neat to see what's been going on since the last state. See what the last state was. But doesn't really affect a whole lot that's going in that I've seen. There may still remain some types of boom type missions or wartime missions a day or two after, while the recovery state is still active until it disappears, which is simply its cooldown timer, which varies depending on the state. Regrets nothing. Let's just see if there's textbook available. There are 2 links that I generally use and refer people to for this. I will post those momentarily. Active states. Where do I find this fucking information? Mostly system map, and why is that not? There it goes. Why is it not continuing? Active states, pending states, recovering states. All in the right hand functions panel. All hit 4, it's right there. It's all within your status, and then system summary. Active states can also be seen from the system map and the galaxy map. States are Ubigo, none, boom, action, investment. Let's see, let's find these 2 links. For reference, there are this is one. This was put up as a guide to minor factions in the background sim by the Mercs of Macomb, who are a pretty large player faction that manipulate the background sims a lot. There's also this one on Elite Diplomats, which is apparently the link's fucked up. That is a overview. That is a much more simplified overview. The Mercs of Macoon guide breaks it down quite a bit. It does give a little bit of information. I'm going to include a lot of that in the next couple pieces. All this info, again, active states, you can find them either, find the controlling faction either in the galaxy map, open up the system map for that system, you'll see all the active states for the current minor factions in that system, and if you happen to be in the system, that is also the only time you can see pending and recovering states, which are in the right hand functions panel. And then, well, there's that. End of slideshow. Questions, answers, anything. And then once you really start getting into all of this, I'll give you guys a fun preview here. Most of this is old information anyway, so I don't care. This is what you start seeing. Once you hit a certain point, this becomes your friend. Spreadsheet foo. May it be strong with you. We're tracking stations. This is all actual privateers asset stuff, but I don't think any. I haven't updated any of this in the last couple days, specifically before this. So, over the part about the BGS one more time. And here we have our area in the bubble. And then here's the fun one. This one I actually don't really mind showing everyone. Spreadsheets! This is the entire area of Colonia. Everyone's system, as well as their controlling influences. I'm going to be adding a second set to this, but the whole thing here is I'm going to be migrating how our tracking is done. Each one of these yellows is a NPC faction that controls the system, and then each one that's not is player faction. And then ours up here, Coyote 368. Yeah, it gets fun once you start hitting this stuff. And then there's defined states and effects. This is just stuff that we've personally gone through and assigned values to. Over here you can see assigned value assignments, which I never could get working properly, so spread them sheets. Database with awesome interface. Yeah, I'm gonna be integrating all this into an actual database. But yeah, this will be probably the majority of the last 2 or 3. Manual input. Yeah, all this is manual. I'm hoping at some point Frontier decides to introduce an API call system, so that way we can track influencing without having to manually input everything and run around. We can just set it to digitally call all the information. Yeah, it gets way too complex to calculate and predict. I actually I actually did get one thing to work for the actions needed to take. I got it to work in Excel. I couldn't get it to work in Google Sheets. I thought I left the sheets back in Eve, but no, they had to follow me. Right. But, I mean, we can kick this. Here, we'll put that up there.
Do what what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Hey.
You're favored indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Yeah, no, Excel does. I managed to get a lot of things working with Excel, but I couldn't get the same commands to work with Google Sheets. So that was actually fairly interesting. Then the only way to actually get it to share is by having Office 365. And sorry, but I'm not paying for Office 365 ever. Is this where we talk nonsense? Multiple people accessing. Yeah, Office 365 definitely has that problem. Serious business. Yeah, Sheets is collaborative. Office 365 is also collaborative.
Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free.
Christine,
You
thank you for
are
following.
a pirate.
Hashtag blame Jorlin. It's been 1 day since he started an interstellar conflict. Questions? Anything basic over BGS or anything? I mean, like I said, this is just part 1. I can go over it again. We can glaze over the 8 actual sheets that I managed to get put together in time. And then hopefully the next one, part 2, will be much longer, because I will have a non-corrupted PowerPoint file. Hopefully when I wake up that day. That's what happened this morning. Woke up and my PowerPoint was corrupted, so I was like, well, fuckery. I'll bring a pillow. Actually, Badger, I know about Smartsheet. Smartsheet is based off of the Google Sheet platform. Yeah, that is based off of the Google Sheet and Office 365 platforms. Blame Jordan. Yeah, let's all blame Jordan. Over and over and over and over. Blame Lala just cuz. Google shit when you want to share, right? Yeah, very true. Yeah, we'll be better served once we're out of Sheets and in a database supported program. I'm hoping I can manage to get all of it working with SQL just fine. But while building it, I'm also learning it, because I don't know shit about SQL. Travis! Well, we've already gone over it once. It's not much here to really go over, but if everybody wants, we can glaze over our 8 informational sheets again. And then do it all in Access. Fuck Access. Yes, you are. Fuck Access. My mother was dealing with Access earlier today, and I was like, "Yerp." Nope. But we'll cycle through it again, because fuck it, why not? Jorlin slacking. Jorlin is slacking. He is slacking. It looks different, yes, but it also has a bunch of different base functions comparatively to Excel. Base functions work a lot differently in Access than they do Excel. So, anyone coming in that is just coming in, yes, we are VODing this, so you can watch it again later. I'm also going to break this down into a bit more of a lengthier, hopefully, YouTube video at some point. I mean, I'm a part-time YouTuber. It's more like whenever I get a video up, it goes up. There's a joke there somewhere. But this whole thing, BGS overview, again, minor factions, faction states, state hierarchy. Where do you find it? Steroids XL. Kind of. Kind of. But we'll scroll this again. We'll scroll through the slides again. And then we will call it, and then find one of our fellow privateers to host.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Ratman. Yeah, I worked in IT for about almost 10 years. Ratman, thank you for the follow, sir. Access is basic SQL. Steroids Excel. IT guy, yeah. Pretty much. That is exactly what they did. Then NPC factions. Again, solely created by Frontier. Generally identifiable by their faction names. Yeah, no, I'm not. No. Generally identifiable, they have their origin system in their faction name. Can't be removed from their origin system. Are affiliated or unaffiliated. Primarily superpowers or independent. Again, I told you guys my PowerPoint got corrupted, otherwise player factions up there would look a little different. And the backgrounds wouldn't be so quite big. But are organized by elite community. One fact I actually did forget to put in here, which I'll edit it into the PowerPoint for people to look at later. Rocknori, I think he's called. A point of fact for player factions. If a player faction is put into a system, generally from the galaxy map, you can tell if this is a home system of a player faction. For Privateers Alliance, we have a short description of the system of Privateers Alliance. From the galaxy map, you'll see this. It'll read whatever has been submitted by the player group for coverage of the lead NPC character of the organization. Once they're approved, processed and placed into the home system, you get a systems selection. You come up with a couple systems and then you send them in, and there's back and forth on that. Also, like NPC factions can't be removed from their origin system, are affiliated or unaffiliated, either superpowers or independent, Federation, Federal, Empire, Paste Eaters, independent. Minor factions make them love. They will give you the good jobs. So they do give good jobs if they're in the right states. Then again, covering over the faction states. I have a question. Is it an Vault faction? That's fine. As a new player, at what point should I move on from the bubble and head out to our home system? Our home system is still considered within the bubble. We're outside of the main power play influence areas. The closest power play control system is 50 light years from us. That's mostly by choice. So we are still considerably within the bubble, but we are outside of the greater population areas. And whenever you're ready to head to 368, that's really your choice. When you feel that you're ready to move out there. We have several outfitting stations that are around us, as well as a decent industrial and extraction outfitting services in our home station at Barjabar. And the sticks, yeah, Essentially, yeah, we live out in the country. Conflict states, civil war, war, elections, expansions. Expansion states are namesake of expansion. Investment and retreat. Investments only happen when an expansion fails because there is nowhere to expand to from the expanding system within 20 light years. That is a special point of expansion. Investment you can't go directly into. You will process through an expansion and then into an investment. Expansion states have a 10-day cooldown, a 10-day cycle. And then there's the 6 economical states of boom, bust, famine, outbreak, civil unrest, and lockdown. And here's your explanations again. I always laugh at the boom one because they say doing exceptionally good economically. Exceptionally good. While grammatically correct, it doesn't flow well. Well is the word I would have used. So, expansion, you're expanding into another star system because your influence has grown enough. Numerical value of that is over 70% and stayed there. Wars, minor faction from an origin system faction, and a faction that's expanded in are going into a conflict. Civil war, 2 origin factions are going into a conflict. Election, regardless of whether their system origin or not, peaceful conflict generates a whole different list of missions. Booms, everybody loves a good system boom. Booms help trade a lot. They also really help mission board runners. Bust, complete opposite. Civil unrest, security that per faction provides, which means the civilians are primarily impacted by this. Famine, need of food, outbreak, need of medicine, and a lockdown is mostly military and authority. The faction failed to uphold law and order. Generally, lockdown happens when your system security status drops to low, and it becomes easier to generate high amounts of bounties and fines by killing either police and civilians. And again, a list of the states. Here's the hierarchy list again. Tier 1 is conflict states. Tier 2 is expansion states. Tier 3, economical or other. And then pending and recovery states. I know this is extremely boring for a lot of people. Pending states, currently in countdown according to our timers. Several can be pending at the same time. Highest tiered faction state will win the countdown when it gets ready to go into active. Recovery states simply reflects the last active, where you find it. Galaxy map is one place only for the controlling faction of the system. Other than that, system map is your best place, and pending states and recovering states and other active state information is also available in your right hand function panel. That's it. We're done. Questions, Q&A. And in case y'all want to see the little intro video that I ran, I made it a while back. I can run it so people can see it again. Questions, concerns? Cram for Monday's test. How long has a Pioneer Alliance been a thing? No idea. I haven't found them yet. Have not seen a Pioneer Alliance yet. Well, tonight was very basic. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, but next one will probably be in 2 weeks. I'm going to have a lot more to go over for that one because I'm going to start breaking down and having actual in-game shots to work with. because I had more. And again, PowerPoint got corrupted, so I had to throw together and keep this one as much as I could. So yeah, this one's a lot shorter. Lot shorter than I wanted it. I expected about 2 hours. We only got an hour, but we went over it twice. Yeah, also guys, if you're Privateers Alliance member yourself and you have questions for the background sim, please feel more than free to ask questions in the background sim channel. Ask in the background sim channel in Discord. Either myself or Speakman, who is pretty much the secondary and handling all the background information for me. Either one of us can give you an answer. Or I'll give him the answer and he'll type it up if I'm streaming. So, more than free if you're PA and you're in our Discord, ask in the background sim or message me on Twitch. If you message me on Twitch, expect a little bit of a wait because I never on time see these things. Or direct message me through Discord. I will see those in most cases. Better to sell the MAs at Barterville or can I go somewhere else? Crimin, that question needs to go into the war channel. Local cable company doesn't carry that channel. Should make you a flight leader. Yeah. But yeah, 2 weeks from now, I'll probably have our next one. We'll have our next primer. We'll have primer part 2. That one, I'm going to be breaking down a lot more of the stuff. We're going to go into the system map, the galaxy map, and then leading down into the system map, and then breaking down everything that is available within a system. So that is going to be extensively, well, particularly longer than this one. I should have about 30 slides on that one. But yeah, that one's going to have a lot more to deal with, and we'll also be able to load up the game and look at some actual live data inside the BGS. You know, flight risk. With a beard like this, how can you not be? Yeah. Okay, so let's see who else is live. And then we will kick a host over to them, because that is all we have for today. Unfortunately, since yeah, again, PowerPoint file corrupted, all that bullshit. I found a few others that were bugged as well. I thought we had more people live than just that. Ooh, she's just streaming. No, she's not. Damn it. Why are you? What's is wrong with you people? Everybody's like offline and shit. Works in progress. Yeah, right. Everybody's in here. Oh crap, we don't have anybody else. Let's see, who is, let's check the elite category. Hey look, Wolfpack streaming. I have no idea who half these people are. Is he? Ha. Here we go. So let's go host Megalyn. Me. What we'll do is, here, we'll come up with a quick raid message, because why not? Jorlin stream now. Troll raid wolf. Alright, let's see. Okay, here we go. We'll just use this. Used by KZ quite a bit. Or Gandalf really uses it. You didn't stream yesterday? Something about pirates should be in the raid message? Yeah. Alright, here we go. It's going to be Twitch raid PA on PA action, because this is literally a host coming from the main PA channel. And then we will kick this over to, here's his channel link. Megalin73, guys. So, let's show him some love. Drop in your message. Toss him a follow. Another PA member. I will see you guys in 2 weeks for Primer Part 2. Hopefully I won't have to rush in the afternoon to get my PowerPoint rebuilt. I'll have a lot more information, a lot more screenshots, and we'll actually be able to look at some more stuff in-game in 2 weeks. So, I will see you guys then, and for my traditionary message, fly safe, fly dangerous. And we'll run this just for shits and giggles.